we are celebrating 1 year of storytelling.
We started afraid.
Everything just sort of fell in place, even when we didn't know.
Our first episode and the cameras, and we didn't know which one to look at.
Yeah. And I remember you tell this story very well about how you couldn't recognize her.
What has been the most memorable ride?
Cape Epic is no
Joke. Yeah.
And the message there was strength and balance.
It has been a lot of fun. Welcome to Baiskeli Stories, where boardrooms meet bike trails and business strategy shares the stage with family dinners.
We are two ambitious women balancing corporate careers and the joys of motherhood while making time to log miles on our bikes.
My name is Kahaki, co-host of Baiskeli Stories. I'm a wife, mother of 3, I work for family business, and I love the outdoors.
And I am Rose, a wife, proud mama, fearless adventurer, and business leader.
We're diving into what it really takes to wear all the hats without losing ourselves in the process.
From power moves at work to powerful climbs on the road, we're talking breakthroughs, burnout, and balance.
So, clip in, because this ride is just getting started. Welcome to Baiskeli Stories. Hi everyone,
and welcome to our first anniversary episode. So today, guys, we are celebrating 1 year of storytelling, 1 year of Baiskeli Stories. I mean, it feels like we just started this yesterday, and today we are one. It's such a moment, Kahaki.
It is. I can't even believe it.
I'm
Actually,
It is
no,
such a moment.
Honestly, I'm so excited. First of all, that we are here.
Yes.
I think I want to say to thank God for the journey that it has been.
Yes.
Because it's been a journey. It really has.
It has been.
And we started afraid. Can I say that? We started
very afraid.
Very afraid, but we just kept doing
very
it.
Naive.
Very naive.
And we really didn't have a plan.
We didn't at all.
We just said, okay, let's start.
Yeah.
And I think we can almost say the rest is history.
Yes, we can, yeah.
And I love the way everything just sort of fell in place, even when we didn't know how it was going to pan out.
Yeah.
So it feels really good to be sitting here 1 year later and say we have 15 episodes plus.
Yes.
We have content when we were out doing our events, when we were in Diani, when we went to Moshi, and boy, we have had a fun ride.
It really has been interesting. We've had great conversations with very interesting people.
Yes.
And we've learned a lot, I think, as well. We've learned a lot from our interviews. We've learned a lot from the process of learning podcasting, because both of us production,
event management, you name it.
Everything.
I mean, it's skills that we are picking up along the way and wondering, okay, so I could actually do this.
Yeah, exactly.
And that's why we're so excited, because having rolled for 1 year, literally on the bikes and everything,
and literally, yes.
And it feels now right to sort of take it to the next level, take it to the next year and the next.
Yeah.
So there's so much excitement. I mean, so much excitement to what the future holds. Yes, so I don't know. I'm still maybe a little bit teary.
Yeah, I know. I think for me, it's just, it's been exciting, and I think back how we started with our first episode and the cameras, and we didn't know which one to look at. And then we had a lot of arms and whatever, so I remember that. And then just learning the process, I think, has been, I mean, it has actually been very interesting and exciting. And I've looked forward to it. I've looked forward to the interviews, and also trying to learn how to, what is it that people want to hear?
Yes.
What do we want to say?
What message you want to pass across?
Yes, what message you want to pass across?
Remaining relevant, I think all these things.
Yeah, all those things, you know what I mean? And then I think just to say the journey that God, I think, has taken us to, the people He has brought into our lives.
Yes.
The first crew that we had that taught us so many things.
So many things.
The crew that we have now, I mean, just the people that God has brought into our lives, inside the people who are doing our social media,
yes,
photography,
we've interactions
with
wonderful humans,
it's been amazing.
Beautiful souls who have taught us a lot along the way.
Absolutely.
Younger people, very young people,
Gen Zs,
and yes, Gen Zs, I might add, and they are so committed to their craft.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
And you look at them and you look at how they are embracing what they have to do, and the confidence also.
Yeah.
For them, it's not about age. Like, I'm the one who knows.
Yeah.
So this post will go up at this time. It's got to look like this, and I'm thinking, okay.
Yeah, exactly.
Fine. If you leave it with me, I'll probably, do it so differently. But that's what works.
Yeah,
that's what works.
Really good. It's been a fun journey. Yeah, and we're learning a lot.
Super fun. First interview, if we just roll back to, we actually recorded in April, but that interview didn't come out until May, and that's why we're celebrating our first anniversary in May.
Yeah.
We recorded in April some content which was supposed to help us with the cover screen. We were told we needed thumbnails and we need to look like this. There was a photo shoot. There was what, and that particular episode, we chose to interview somebody who we admire. He's in the industry of triathlon, and he was gracious enough, Michael O'Wara, remember,
to be our first
guest, and he made it so easy for us because he's gifted, with talking.
He's very gifted.
We didn't have to do much.
Yeah, that's so true. He was the best first interview.
So thank you, Michael.
Thank you, Michael.
Thank you for being our first guest.
Yeah. And then after that, we went to our family, and that's the Joyriders family, and we interviewed Kuria and Angie. Joyriders, and that was fantastic because that's where we started, and actually that's where Baiskeli Stories was birthed.
Exactly.
So we were like, we have to start there.
We have to start there. And for that particular interview, we first did a ride in the morning, our usual Wednesday early morning ride.
Yes.
And I remember the crew was struggling to keep up with us because I don't know what they thought, because we were on bikes.
They thought we'd be slow.
They thought we'd be slower. I mean, literally, they lost us to start with. They couldn't find where we'd gone.
They didn't know where we were.
By the time, and they had to call and ask, which road did you take? We didn't see you guys. You're moving too fast.
Yeah, it was
and
so
we're
funny.
Thinking, it's just a Wednesday casual morning ride.
Yeah.
Eventually, they did catch up and got a few clips, and it was a really nice day. We had a good time interviewing the Joyriders, and after that, we started venturing out to speak to other people who we know who are doing marvelous things. And first in line was David Thuo. Hi, David. David has, oh my goodness, just basically done the most in the sport of running. He's an elite runner, and he's organized so many things. And most recently, this last weekend, although we missed it, was the marathon relay.
Yeah.
And it was an absolute success because, and I was just telling him, actually, I messaged him and I said, David, do you remember the first marathon relay you did? The music was from the boot of your car, right?
Wow.
Yes, it was from the boot of his car. We were parked somewhere on a road in Karen Plains, and that was the start line. There was just one chalk marking. You start from here, this is the baton, you hand it over. And I think we're about 20 or 30 teams, I could be wrong. And we had such a blast. We're thinking, wow, this is fun. But it was such a small event in comparison to what was recently happened. I mean, 1,000 people.
Yeah.
Sponsors,
amazing.
big event. And when he sat with us, he gave us this vision he has of growing the sport and bringing everybody into it.
Yeah.
And I can see it happening, you know.
Absolutely. He's very focused.
Very, very focused.
And,
so listening to him, in fact, if you go back to some of his nuggets. He
Yeah.
had excellent wisdom,
Yeah.
nuggets on life generally
Yes.
and how he handles himself.
Yeah.
That was nice.
That was nice, yes.
And who was next?
Next was Limo.
Tell.
The extreme.
Tell.
Limo.
Tell.
So what was interesting actually is we interviewed them on the same day. And for me, what was interesting was the extremes of how different personalities, because they're both extreme. I mean, David has run. He's actually, what do you call it? He's an elite. He's a ultra. No. He's a Limo is an ultra runner. So he runs, up Kilimanjaro,
an ultra is any distance beyond
42.
Right.
So and that's what Limo does. But where David was very structured, very gyms, physio, food, how he eats, what time he eats, rest. Limo was very, cash. I'm gonna just run today. And
my legs will carry me.
My legs will carry me. My legs.
30K.
30K. 30K, 50K, 100K. And so that day was like two extremes, So I remember the feeling like, wow, these are two different people.
Yeah.
And I remember, I don't know if you can, I remember he had a drink during the interview, and we're like, keep the drink down,
But he was being himself. He was being real.
He was completely being himself, and
for him, there's loved it.
This
is life. This is running.
Yeah, there was no.
They're one and the same,
yeah,
and I think that's a very
that's
important
very
message.
Important.
He's incorporated
everything,
and so has David, just in a different way.
Yeah.
Very structured.
Very structured.
Get to bed by 8 o'clock. Wake up by 3 a.m. Run by 4. Be in the office by 8. I eat
crazy.
this at 10. I eat it.
Yeah, very structured. Yeah, very interesting.
And that just speaks to the variety of people. I mean, that we are also different.
Yeah.
But we get focused on different things that bring us joy.
Yeah.
But how we approach them is very different.
And then we keep moving, and they keep moving. That's the thing. And keep moving. And I think that's the message out there.
Yeah.
So after Limo,
we also spoke to one of the joyriders, Eva.
Yes, we did. Yes, we had Eva Deru. Yeah.
Again, a fantastic story to tell about growth in cycling.
Yeah.
When we started cycling, it was over COVID 2020. There was really no direction where this was going.
Yeah.
And I keep making fun of her. She used to dress for cycling like she was going for, I don't know, when you're wearing your rain gear during hiking, tracksuit jacket, hood, like, okay, where are you going?
Remember, we all used to wear the
hat and the helmet over the hat, and she had
Yeah.
this very interesting gear which has since transformed into the right cycling gear.
I think for all of us, we all started there.
But and I remember you tell this story very well about how you couldn't recognize her almost 6 months into cycling. Because she just
different person.
20 kilos down from cycling. Total transformation. And it was amazing. To see what cycling did for her. She's a leader in the education sector, and so focused. And even you see it in her cycling, really focused. Has the hill is here to be conquered. It will not conquer me.
Yeah, exactly. That is
Eva for you.
That's so Eva. Yeah.
Yes. Mm-hmm. And then we moved on. We moved on to who was next? Jill.
We did Jill.
Yeah. Jill McGrath. Oh, another one. Cranky Nuts, is it?
Cranky Nuts.
Cranky Nuts, they are. And the most interesting thing, if you just follow what she's been doing lately, she did the Cape Epic.
Yes, she did. And she told us she was going to do it.
Yes.
She actually said
she said she was going to do it.
Yeah.
And the Cape Epic is no
joke.
Yeah. No joke. But she did it.
Yeah.
And she's so inspiring because for her, it was so casual how she landed into riding. She was just this expat lady trying to make friends.
Yeah.
And okay, can I come along with you guys cycling? And there are all these women who already know what they're doing. And she found her way in, and now she's an
very
strong,
mountain, very strong rider.
Very strong,
yeah.
Very strong.
So it was nice to interview her.
Yeah, and see her.
And then after that was Silas.
And Uncle Sai.
Uncle Sai.
Yes.
And for me, I think what stood out for me, because Silas had trained me through to get to the Chicago Marathon, and was that he first of all, wasn't active before, because I can't imagine Silas not active. And then that, he was telling us, he was, I don't know how many, 3 times his size.
His size,
and we're like, no, you need to show us a picture.
chilling.
Like, I want a picture because I don't believe it. And I think he did send us a picture. He couldn't find one for a long time. Then he eventually sent us one. Yeah. So then it's interesting. I think after that we
had Lorna.
Yes. After
Miss
that, we had
Lorna B of the Lorna B November Women's Challenge.
Yes.
And wow, she was quite the guest. With all her energy, you speak to Lorna and you feel, okay, I've got to move. What am I doing sitting? I've got to move. There's, I just need to keep going, keep going.
Be active, move
active,
and eat right.
active,
She's
active,
so
active.
big on that.
Yes. And she was fantastic to listen to, and what she was able to have accomplished last year.
Yeah. Throughout the year, she had
that 4-day run thing she did in somewhere northern Kenya.
Yes.
I forget.
Yes, I forget. I know what you're talking about. Yes.
And the hilarious part was how she thought she was packing for a glamping expedition. Shock on her when she had to unpack everything. But she was quite insightful, and she has a very strong following of women who are picking up that habit of being active, a little compounding and building on that.
And the beauty of her programs, because now, the November Challenge has become the main
almost
one,
annual.
but then she has something throughout the year, is that she encourages you to, basically keep moving, whether it's 2 times a week, 3 times a week, and then there's an accountability process to it. And I think that helps a lot, for a lot of women. And so there's always a program to follow. I think she's inspired a lot of people. She definitely inspired us.
Yeah.
And we're definitely November challengers. Yeah.
Yes. And then we slowed down a bit on the interviews, and that is when we went to Diani.
That's when we went to Diani.
Diani for the triathlon.
Fun for the triathlon, yes.
Oh, that was a lot of fun.
Yeah.
A lot of fun. We were going back to Diani at least one. For some of us who were going back to just check if there had been growth throughout the year.
And there had been.
Proved that there had been growth, and like I could swim better. The cycling was better. The run, everything was better. It was such a fantastic experience in Diani.
Diani, for me, I think Diani, I find, is one of those things. It's the end of the year kind of. Yeah. It marks the end of the year because it's such a fun event. Good vibes. I feel like even if you walk, you push your bike and walk, you finish and you're just. The environment, the vibe that he creates, Team Traffic creates, it's a fun event. So I always love that event. I think for me, this time I guess there was growth because I did the Olympic. And then maybe, so let's see if I keep growing. I don't know. I don't know if I stop there. I don't know. I've not decided if I want more growth. I think I'm
okay with that growth. Because beyond that, now we're talking middle distance,
which is a whole other whatever. But but we ended the year with that. And then came back into 2025 and started the year with the Ride to Moshi and the Kili Marathon. I think that's where we kicked off.
We started off there, but we also did something at the beginning of the year, a fireside chat.
Yes. Oh my goodness. Yes, we did. Oh my God.
We had a fireside chat in collaboration with Joyriders and Team Traffic.
Yeah.
And that was different.
It was very different.
First, the prepping for it, was as a classroom. On its own, a class on its own on how to plan for events.
Event management, how to get people to attend. You don't realize how, you've attended so many events and you've never been
on the other side.
On the other side, planning the event and trying to get people to pay and to come.
Yeah.
And so that was
nice. Yeah. Fantastic conversations around perimenopause and women, and even women in fitness, how we take care of ourselves and how we need to basically embrace the phases of life that we're going through. Yeah. And they shouldn't put us down. I think the message there was strength and balance. So we need to just keep going. just keep going regardless of what your body is telling you. The worst would be to succumb to, I don't feel like, and then you slump, and so it's rising above these things because they are part and parcel of you now.
Absolutely.
As a perimenopausal or even fully menopause woman. Yes, and then now ride to Moshi. Ride to Moshi was not only just the ride, it was even the preparing for the ride.
Yeah, that was a lot,
We had tough rides. We went to Suswa and we literally died and cried as we pushed our bikes up. We're like, did we come cycling or hiking with our bikes?
Like, what was it? I missed that one, by the way. I missed that one. I think after the fact, I was thankful.
If you didn't do it, you're okay. Yeah. Oh my goodness, Kahaki. I still remember that portion of the ride and you're asking all manner of questions and saying,
why am I here? Like, what is this?
Necessary?
Is this worth it?
Is this what life is for me? It's
oh
come
my
down
God.
to this, me on a bike pushing it, And okay, the thing about cycling is, you finish and you quickly forget the hard portions.
Yeah, you do.
Quickly forget, and you're like,
especially when you get to the chapo and tea part, you're just like, actually,
obviously.
that was not so bad.
It wasn't so bad.
But the training was definitely tough. I think it
always toughened us.
Yeah, it really toughened us and actually strengthened us. And it's funny, Kamal was very clear. Like, if you don't come for the training, you don't come for the ride, for the Moshi ride. So if you don't prep, he's not taking along people who have not prepared. But the
Moshi, it paid off.
It did.
It paid off.
100%. Yeah.
Despite a very long day one, we finished. And there was nobody who was crashed I can't proceed
everybody finished.
I'm done with this thing. Yeah. We finished. We even had chit chat, and I think that night some people stayed up the whole night. Okay, not the whole night, but stayed on longer.
Late. There was a lot of dancing and music.
Fun times. Fun times.
Moshi, I think the ride to Moshi was, for me, epic. Such a good group of people.
Cherry on the top.
Good group of people, good vibes, tough ride, tough. The heat, the hills,
the crosswinds,
very
tough
everything. Ride. Yeah. But so much fun, and I would do it again. But we're not doing it again, right?
Yeah. We need to be clear on camera.
Yes, I would do it again, but we're not doing it again. I think we've ticked that Moshi box and we're all right. So we'll look for another challenge.
That's the thing.
Yeah.
The fact that we're not doing it again just means that there's another
thing
coming.
For sure. I don't know. There'll be other things we can
there'll be other mountains to climb. And we top it up with running the Kili Marathon.
Yes.
Half marathon, that is. Something we've done severally. But this time was, different and special because we brought on board our friends in cycling who don't run.
Yeah.
And it was so nice to see them conquer themselves and
take up the challenge.
And you did fantastic. I mean, it was so nice to see you out there. Really, against all odds, you came out and did a 21K.
Yeah.
So did you, Eva. I think there was also Dr. Peter, who had never run beyond 10K.
Yes.
So many first-timers there.
Yeah, many first-timers. So I have to say that Rose was our captain for that trip. She was the organizer, captain, and she's a very good organizer.
Wow,
Type A personality right here. So it's so funny because she actually is the one who was just like, if you're coming on the ride to Moshi, you're coming to run 21 kilometers. You're not coming to run, I think there's a 5, right?
There's a 5. There's only a 5.
There's a 5 and then 21.
All the way to 21.
So there was no option of the 5. So everybody had to be on board. So if you signed up to ride to Moshi, you were signing up to run 21. So when Angie signed up, Rose was just like,
where's your registration?
Where's your registration for? So I think I love it because even Eva, they did it afraid, but they did it. They did it and they finished.
So all 13 of us cycled and all 13 of us ran.
Yeah, it was so much fun.
It was so nice. And it just tells you there is so much within us that we can do. We underestimate the power of I don't know what power
your
this
mind,
is.
Actually.
But the power of the mind. Yes.
So
and if you apply it. And I think there was something about the group, that camaraderie, that teamwork. Nobody wanted to be left behind. Even one guy there who's an excellent runner, Osi, I came to cheer you guys. I'm not running. I've done this many years.
I don't do it again. Yeah.
You will run.
Yeah. Everybody.
And how we looked for a pass. I mean, a registration, and the guy ran. I think he ran under the guise of
Somebody else.
Somebody
actually.
else.
Yes, he did
but he
run.
ran.
There was
Legitimately.
no way he was going to not run. The thing was what do you call it? The wave.
The wave was
headed
there. You have
the
to.
wave
You
was
have
there.
to.
Yeah.
You have to.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think that was a fantastic start to the year.
Very good start to the year.
Then
we went into the interviews. We had a few interviews on the ride, which was fun.
Yeah.
And then we went into our CEO series.
No. Old folks.
Old folks. How could I forget?
How can you forget? Come on.
That was the best, actually. Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
We had the pleasure of interviewing our parents.
Yes.
We interviewed Rose's mom and my dad.
Yeah.
And it was so encouraging. And I think those 2 episodes, even now, we hear people telling us how they sent them to their auntie, they sent them to their mom. Because our parents are older and they're still active. So they inspire us. Their episodes definitely inspired a lot of people. So
yes.
Those were really good. Can't believe I was forgetting that.
No, I'm saying that. So I'm just going to say, if you're looking for inspiration, I think that's our most inspirational episode.
Those 2, absolutely. Yeah.
I think I got a glimpse into the future and what it can be.
Yeah.
And what I just need to do.
Yeah, to keep active. Yeah.
The formula is there. Yeah. Honestly, watch those episodes. Watch TK and watch Terry. You'll realize that it's right there with you. You just need to commit.
Yeah,
to commit.
It. Yeah.
That was very
nice.
inspirational. Very nice.
Yeah.
And recently we've now moved into the CEOs.
Yes.
The
which
CEOs
have also been so good. Yeah.
Very good. Very good. Again, showing us that you can blend fitness into your lifestyle.
Yeah.
And that's what it's supposed to be.
That level. Yeah.
That's what it's supposed to be.
Yeah.
It's supposed to blend in. It shouldn't be a thing you do after everything else.
It should be part of it.
It should be part of it, so that you're always finding ways to ensure that you have done your exercise.
Yeah.
And that's going pretty well. Our conversation with Joachim, the CEO of Highlands Water and Biofoods, just tells you how he's focused, gets up at 4, is in the gym at 5, with his son and his wife.
Yeah,
and
really nice.
Together they've made this a family affair.
Yeah.
And he's really doing well in that space of inspiring leadership to take on fitness. And Anne's, she's funny.
Yeah, her story was really good.
Annie, are you okay? Are you okay?
Have a soundtrack to your workouts.
Have a song written for you.
Yeah, that inspires you to work out.
Yes. Yeah. So I'm wondering whether mine should be Roses Are Red.
Yeah.
As soon as I hear that, I don't know which other the song is written for Rose.
Yeah, I know. You have to look for those, so you can keep going.
Yeah.
So, Rose, looking back on the 1 year, what has been the most memorable ride for you, right?
That's a no-brainer, Kahaki. It's got to be Moshi.
Yeah.
Moshi, and as for me, it was all the way from the prep through to the actual ride itself.
Yep. Yeah.
We did a lot of rides to prepare for it. Every Wednesday morning was a high-charged ride.
Yeah.
The weekend rides became a little bit crazy. Thinking about the Suswa prep ride was a killer. It made me question a lot of things in my life, the choices I'm making at this age, And then the actual ride itself, beautiful, almost like a choreographed event, like a dance.
Yeah.
You watch it unfolding, and we take off early in the morning on schedule, and Kama was not having it. Literally, I think there was somebody who did a little bit of catch up.
Yeah.
I'm not going to name names, but he was so firm on.
We're leaving at this time.
We're leaving at 5:45. Wheels up.
Yeah.
And we left. There we are, weaving through Ngong traffic. We are moving. I don't know, your bike decides what. We are stopping. And so that morning had its own
whatever's. But we got there.
But we got there. Move.
So Moshi was
awesome.
Yeah.
Moshi was awesome. If I could,
great way to start.
I'll do it again.
Yeah.
I'm not doing it again, but I'll do it again. But it was awesome.
Yeah.
What about you?
Agreed. No, 100%. I
Yeah.
loved Moshi. And
Yeah.
as you said, it was seamless, but thanks to you, Rose,
Yeah.
you organized a fantastic ride.
Mm.
And then we had the best group of people. We had such a good group, and it made it even, I think, more fun. And of course, Kamau with his, this is how we're doing it, and the boys, which is why I always say, I don't go for long rides without Kamau. I don't even know how to do it. But Moshi was fantastic. Moshi was fun. And it was a good way to start the year.
Yeah.
Moshi, right to Moshi, and of course the Kili Marathon after that.
Yeah.
Yeah,
it delivered on all fronts.
Yeah.
From challenge,
everything, to
challenging, beauty in terms of enjoying beautiful scenery, and camaraderie. Ticked all the boxes. Any adrenaline junkie
would love it. So we're looking for another challenge for maybe not this year, but 2026. Let's see.
Perhaps.
Let's see. Yeah.
So, tell me. Obviously, 1 year can be long and can be short at the same time. But whatever period it is, there are lessons that we pick up. What's your most, what have you learned about yourself, either through podcasting or cycling in this last 12 months or so?
So let me start. I think for me, cycling, what it has taught me is always to push, that I can do more. And that has been a lesson that I've even applied in my life. And which is why I love, when we started cycling and got into it, and it's one of the reasons I love cycling. So cycling always challenges me, actually. So that continues. But from podcasting, let me tell you, it has been a stretch. I think it has really been a stretch, because when we started, I thought, okay, we're interviewing other people, and we'll put the information on our socials, on our on the social Baiskeli Story page.
Yes.
Leave Kahaki out of it, right?
Yeah.
And so recently we met the lady who does our social, and she's like, no, you have to be Asha, who is fantastic. And she's like, no, you have to, and she wants to see, first of all, she wants to see us do more, and then she wants to tag my page. You got what I mean? So yes, I'm okay to put Baiskeli Stories out there, but leave me out of it. So I'm not, I'm not tagging my page. I'm not, my personal IG page, my personal space. And then she wants me to, if I go to the gym, take videos of yourself. She's like, no, your audience wants to get to know you. I said, no, they can get to know Baiskeli Stories.
Not me.
So let me tell you, it has been a stretch. It actually has been. And it has taken me talking to myself, saying, okay, Kahaki, post this post, tag, it's okay. It's okay. You know what I mean?
Don't be judged.
And I've been actually, working on that. And that has been for me growth, because I'm, my Instagram page, if you look at it, I think before Baiskeli Stories, it had nothing. It had no stories. My work is to look at other people's stories. That has always been my thing, right? I was a stalker.
IG stalker.
And so I have learned through the process of podcasting that, if I'm talking if we have a platform and we're talking about things which are good, which are relevant, yes, there's Baiskeli Stories, and then there's also who is Kahaki and who is Rose, and being okay with who I am, and being okay to put myself out there. And that has been, a journey, because I'm kind of, my things are my things. I'm like, why are we, so that has been the growth, which I'm actually still doing, and learning from you, because it's so funny. I would go on Instagram, and then I look on Rose's page, and Rose has posted. I'm like, oh God, Asha is going to ask me where my post is, So I have to try and post as well, So it has really been a journey. I'm learning and actually enjoying it. I think even as I think one of the things as I get older, as I said at the beginning, I'm turning 50 this year, is being okay with who you are. And if you're okay with who you are, you put it out there, and it's okay.
It's okay.
And I think that has been my learning. Yeah, it has been huge. Yeah. Nice, and I continue to learn. Yeah.
Nice.
And for you, what has been
cycling
podcasts?
Cycling podcasts, and all of them great lessons. So from cycling, I think I just confirmed my ability to stretch in terms of I can ride through a lot of discomfort, and I can push myself through a lot of things which can be perceived to be you can't do this because you have this sort of injury or you're not feeling too well. So I was able to rise above that. Moshi was looking iffy for me. If you know, I've been nursing an injury for the longest time.
Yeah. You missed a few of the rides because you're trying to just
and for me, it because I'd really geared up for this and I put my mind into it, I was not missing it for the world. In fact, I said, let me miss out on some of the training rides to save my knees for myself.
Remember, we had all sorts of sprays.
I had a
sprays,
whole bag of backup, my own personal first aid kit and medical supplies were there accompanying me. But interestingly, I didn't need to.
No, you didn't.
I think once we started rolling, things just stayed on the side. They came back on Tuesday after I came back to Nairobi. I dealt with that then. But no permanent damage, nothing that was crazy, just the fact that, there was an injury that needed attention. But first we do the ride. I'm not recommending this for anybody. Get it right. Make sure your body is in tip-top condition before you go.
To do those big goals,
but if you have the mind set for it, sometimes you can actually overcome some of these things. So that was me, and I think it's just in keeping with my character. I push and I do hard things. And then on the podcasting side, so yes, I was a little bit more vocal on social media. So even embracing the Baiskeli Stories being now a public platform wasn't too difficult for me as it may have been for you. So for my part, the learning has been on managing the process, the event behind the scenes. So I put together the teams that work with us, our photographers, our camera crew, and giving them, basically just planning how things are going to roll out. And I manage you, Kahaki, because
she does. Yeah, she does. I need to be managed. Yes.
Yeah, because granted, I have a little bit of time on my hands, and it has enabled me to invest that time into Baiskeli Stories, and that has poured my heart into it, from content curation, supporting who's the team on social media. So
even learning on that. You really researched and you've done a lot of that.
Yes. Yeah. So today I think I can sign up for a job as a social media manager.
Yes, you can.
I'm open for work. Not because I have the skills.
Yes,
I basically picked up the skills along the way and understood the craft of social media management.
So let me ask you something. Let's go back a bit, because Rose, something we didn't talk about is the fact that you had just left the corporate life when we started this podcast journey. So just talk a bit about that, because that transition, I feel like it was just there was alignment. I don't know, you know what I mean, as we say, how God puts things in your path. But just talk a bit about that, because you came from a very busy corporate job. Like if you were still working, Baiskeli Stories would not be.
It wouldn't be. Honestly. It didn't be what it is today. Actually, wouldn't have come to life.
No.
And that's true. So end of February 2024 was my last day at work, formal work, corporate work. And it seemed to coincide with an aha moment you'd had. So there were a lot of things happening. You called me.
I was in Lamu.
Actually, you sent me a voice note and say, Rose, I've seen it. I've seen Baiskeli Stories taking off, and it is you and I taking this to the next level. And the reason you said this was because we've been trying to do this for like 6 months before this. We were a bigger group of us, and it just was proving a challenge to all of us to move together. We were all into it and for it, but to find that time that worked for us to sit down, discuss, and agree how do we move forward. So you came back, or actually were still in Lamu, and you sent me this voice note. And it coincided. In fact, I don't even think I told you I was leaving work.
No, you didn't. You hadn't. I found out
and
when
I smiled.
Back.
I was like, it's so funny that you should think that this is the right time for us to do this. Because guess what? My hands are free. I'm now on a break or on halftime, whatever you want to call it.
Yes.
I've just segued into a different space.
Yeah.
And there's this thing in my hands. And, challenge yourself, do something different. So podcasting was birthed out of the fact that I could now invest time into it.
Yeah, and you did. You absolutely have.
Moved into action.
Yeah.
Ooh, who will do the logo?
Yeah.
Who will do this? Who will
Registered
do that?
the business.
Registered everything.
Yeah.
We moved, and I think that
Opened
was
the
April.
account. Yeah.
That was April for us.
Yeah.
Because March was so I've left work in April. In March, we have a few discussions around it, and we actually kicked it off. Actually, I think our company is registered in March. It was registered in March.
Yeah, it was. Yeah.
In April, we are now putting together a team and whatever.
Yeah.
So it's interesting how I'm now in this new space that doesn't necessarily coincide with my past
Life.
in any way, but I must say I've been able to bring in my corporate skills.
Yes, you have.
Into this space.
And brought a lot of structure.
How to organize things, how to set clear outcomes.
Yeah.
And I think that's what has helped us, even in the growth that we've seen.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
I'm loving it.
Yeah,
I'm loving
great.
the ride.
Yeah. And it's been lovely to work with you, Rose.
Yeah.
I think we make a good team.
We do make a good team. I mean,
she organizes me, and I agree to be organized.
You agree to be organized,
so we're good.
And so that nobody gets it wrong, Kahaki does a lot of heavy lifting also in the background. When Kahaki decides to move with things, even I just see emails flowing in our common inbox, and I'm like, "What's happening?
Yeah.
Don't worry, I'm on it."
Yeah.
So we make a very good team.
We make a very good team.
We thank God.
We thank God, actually. Yeah. So, Rose, if you could whisper something to yourself before we started, like if you could say something to yourself before we started Baiskeli Stories and we elevate, what would it be?
So, I think I would say do a little bit more homework on production costs.
Yeah, that's true.
I think we've learned sort of the hard way along the way.
Yeah, that's so true.
And we didn't do enough just to know what was out there. Yeah. And not because we're necessarily blindsided, but we thought we knew, or we thought what we had was the right path.
Yeah.
And it wasn't bad for that matter. It's just that from a cost perspective, this is when I should have brought in my work experience, which says 3 quotes, competitive bidding and all that stuff.
That's true. Yeah. Actually, true. Me and you both actually.
We should have done that. But anyway, nothing is lost because we still had fantastic people we worked with, fantastic crew, and
we
really
learned a lot
people.
from them.
Good people.
And we had good.
And they're good friends of ours.
Still.
Hi, Brian.
And they're still with us. Yeah, still supporters.
Still supporters.
Yeah.
And So yourself, anything that you think that maybe...
That's interesting. That's a very interesting question. What would I whisper to myself is to not be so afraid, I think. You know what I mean? To just, because it has been a lot of fun. I think it has been a lot of fun learning. And then to embrace the learning. I think I initially was a bit guarded and not whatever, and slowly have opened up, and now more and more I'm excited about it. I'm always trying to think, who else can we interview? How do we stay the long haul? And I think we talk about that with you a lot. How do we stay relevant? What is it that we want Baiskeli to be and to grow into? And what is our message at the end of the day? So I think that would have been my whisper to myself, to not be so afraid. Like, it's okay. Just take the next step and the next step and the next step, which I think we encourage each other to do. So I'm just thinking again. Of course, you say we've talked about relevance, and that is because we have an audience. And today our audience are proving to us or sharing with us things we don't know. We are meeting with people who tell us, we are your number 1 fans. You are loved in our home. You're doing such a good job. Yeah, continue doing it. Yeah. And I'm so overwhelmed by audience response. Yeah, it's fantastic. It's our audience today. Thanks to all of you out there who have really supported us in ways we didn't even think
we thought we were just playing around and just, having conversations with people we know, because first we kept it to people we know.
Yes, we did.
Before we ventured out into other people we may not know so well. But they keep coming back. We have a lot of repeat followers who want to know. Anytime there's been a small lag in our content,
like what's happening?
A delay. So you normally have your episode on X day.
How come
Why?
you're not?
Why?
So
we've been waiting. We anticipate to, we like watching your stuff. So when we hear this, and sometimes even from almost strangers, because these could be friends of friends, you're like, wow. Wow.
Yeah.
Just wow. So our audience today, for us, is the backbone of where we are today. Because if there was no interest in what we are doing, I highly doubt we'd be saying we're looking forward to year 2. So our audience is our biggest magnet for continuity.
Yeah, absolutely. No, I agree with you 100%. I think it's just been interesting, and also I think for me it's been interesting to see people who we didn't think were watching. That they're watching, and we're so grateful to a lot of our family, like our Joy Riders family, who are always like, well done. Even from the very beginning, I remember Tasha would always send us a message and say, I've watched, really good, so thank you. So thank you, Tasha, for being such a good supporter of ours from the very beginning. And so many others. David Kenyast, who's
always.
And your sister, family.
Family is always
cheering us on.
Cheering us on. We have your nieces and nephews
who are always liking
strong supporters. But even beyond that very close loop, there are
others
people,
like
others.
Even I get very surprised. Like I remember telling you the lady who came up to me at the triathlon and said, "You don't know me, but I watch your show." And so that always shocks us. I always say I'm always so surprised when a non-family member comes and says they're watching. I'm like, oh, you are? Oh my god, so we are honored, and truly honored, and we love our audience. So thank you so much for watching, and stay tuned.
So Kahaki, having done 1 year, and now we are rolling into the 2nd year, what does the future look like for us? What do you think we sort of should be aiming to achieve? I know we discuss this all the time, but maybe we can just sort of define it in 1 or 2, 3 points.
I think, of course, we want to continue having very engaging conversations. So we hope to invite guests, continue to invite a number of guests who continue to inspire us, and hopefully will inspire our audience. We are hoping to, of course, participate in different events throughout the year, which we will showcase on our platform. And I think growth. I think continue to grow as Baiskeli Stories.
I agree with you. Basically, just to grow.
Just to grow.
Growth and refine what we are doing to the point where, dare I say, that we have another aspiration to feature in a big production. Maybe something by DSTV or
speak it into the universe.
African Voices,
something.
I don't know. We would like to move to another platform. I would say, that showcases not just us. We are storytelling on behalf of Kenya, on behalf of Africa, and that just shows the breadth, the bandwidth of what can be done in this space completely. So would you say then that our mantra or our goal for the next year is growth? We elevate as our parent, our holding company says. Spot on. We are registered as We Elevate. And the thinking behind We Elevate is everything we do, we move to the next level. We elevate our audience, we elevate ourselves, we elevate those around us. Speaking of which, part of our birthday celebration includes a charity aspect.
Yes.
And we'll be looking to elevate Jumbi School to elevate the Joyriders Training Center. So really, we elevate is our hashtag.
We elevate and grow, and that's what we want to do for the next year. Elevate and grow.
So I think I've really enjoyed looking back in time.
It's been a good year.
You're not quite complete without gratitude.
Yes, I'm saying thank you.
So we are forever grateful and continue being grateful to all the people who have walked this journey with us, whether you're our audience, our crew, friends, family, people who've literally been part and parcel of this journey. We are truly grateful. Those who helped us birth this idea into life, you know yourselves, from Sarah to Eva to Angie, you know yourselves, and
100%. Thank you so much.
We couldn't be here without that support. The Joyriders themselves, the teams that we affiliate and support or are part and parcel of, Team Trifid, Runner Riders, Tipwa Tip, Runner Riders, Tipwa Tipwa. I mean, the list keeps growing, but these are all groups of either cycling or fitness groups that we have associated with, and they support us. They support us through our content on social media, through likes. Anybody who's clicked a like, we are so grateful. Our subscribers who grow by the day on YouTube, again, we are so grateful. We are grateful to, of course, and most importantly, God Almighty for the gift, life, and for the gift of storytelling. The gift we didn't know was there is now coming to life. So I'm glad I've got to use this gift in this life.
Absolutely.
And use it for good. And so we will continue, God giving us life. I keep saying this. We'll continue doing this and refining it and improving it. So look out for Baiskeli Stories version 2025, 2026. It's going to be great.
And thank you for watching Baiskeli Stories. On the 31st of May, Saturday 31st, we'll be celebrating our 1-year anniversary, Baiskeli Stories 1 year. And we're doing this by having a ride from Limuru, from Nyara Farm. There'll be 60 kilometers and 40 kilometers. And all of this, we'll be raising money to support Jumbi School in Gikambura and our Joyriders Fitness Health Training Center for our boys. So Rose, you want to tell us why have we chosen this area?
Yes, sure. I mean, I think for us it's because when we initially started to cycle, our coaches, specifically Coach Kamau, lives there actually. Lives in that
we used to start from.
We used to start from there, and we had a connection with that neighborhood. Over and above that, a good number of the boys who are in Joyriders go to school at Jumbi School because it's that greater community. So that community becomes a good place for us to start in giving back. They say charity begins at home. And because we've gotten so much out of cycling, this is the first place we'd like to start giving back to, especially the Joyriders Fitness Camp and Fit Training Center and the school itself next door. They have many needs, but this time or this year, because we do plan to keep this going for more, for future, for as long as we can. This year we'll start off with their library, basically refurbishing a room and creating a library for them. So we invite anybody who may want to support this initiative, either through donating books or furniture or paints or whatever it is that you would like to give for that cause. We will give you details of how you can share that, as well as the Joyriders Training Fitness Camp. A lot is required for that space, but specifically there's also paint work that needs to be done, so you can donate paints if you'd like to. There's gym equipment, there is a little bit of sanitation upgrading we're doing, toilets, bathrooms. So these are things that you can think about, and if you'd like to, whether in cash or kind, we welcome that. So journey with us, feel us through this angle where we now give back. And we are happy to not just break out a sweat and get all the feel-good vibes
from cycling.
Yeah,
we want to give back.
We want to give back
to that community.
Yes, so we look forward to this event. So if you're a cyclist, sign up, cycle. If you're not a cyclist, still come join us. Post-ride social will be the event.
Yeah.
You know, you want to be there. So come and share a friend, come and just be part of the cycling community. You never know, the bug might bite, start cycling.
Who knows?
And it's set in the beautiful scenic Limuru. The views are ever so stunning. So please
join us. Yeah. 31st of May from 7 a.m.
From 7 a.m. Yeah. Follow our socials. All the details about this event are on our social media, Instagram, TikTok, and we'll do a short clip on YouTube just to make sure everybody is covered. So thank you guys, and we already feel the love. Some of you have already registered and we're truly grateful. So keep those registrations coming.
Yeah. Just to add, limited slots available.
Yep.
So please do sign up so you don't miss out. See you on the 31st.
Thank you.